on NBC, the game to watch. Ike is going to be there. I'm going to be in front of my TV watching it. And we're going to get into some hot and heavy talk about Peyton Manning and his comeback, I guess you could call it, after so many years with the Indianapolis Colts, now with the Denver Broncos. I got some numbers here on. First, we're going to look at last year's playoff game with the Steelers because it all ties in together. The big game, Tim Tebow game. You know, I've been on this sack thing, and the Steelers didn't get a sack in that game. Then I'm going to flip it and look at the last time that the Steelers played Peyton Manning in a playoff game. January 15th, 2006, a huge Steelers win. Went on to play Denver, actually, that year, and win the Super Bowl against Seattle. The Steelers sacked Peyton Manning 5 times in that game. That was the game. Joey Porter, Peasy came out with the predictions, the boasts. The Steelers backed them up, brought the heat on Peyton Manning. It caused some problems for him. You guys were able to get the job done. You were in his face in that game. The Steelers played Peyton Manning 3 other times in regular season when he was with the Colts. I've got a total of 6 sacks in those 3 games. You're familiar with this guy. You've played against him. You've looked in his eye. He's looked in your eye. Talk about him a little bit now. The Indianapolis team, that was his team. Now he's trying to make the Broncos his team. What can you tell us about him, playing against him, having played against him in playoff, huge games, played against him in regular season games? He's on a new team. Just break his game down a little bit for us.
Peyton Manning, again, future Hall of Famer, has the tools, what it takes to be a leader, MVP of the league, won the Colts a Super Bowl, coach on the field and off the field. He demands his respect when he's on the field. Too much isn't going to fool a Peyton Manning. That's why his stats are the way they are. That's why he's consistent year in and year out. That's why when he was with the Colts, it was a 12-4, 13-3. I think they only had 1 year when they wasn't over a winning season. I think that was his first year.
Yeah.
I think he was with the Colts for what, 13?
Yeah, he was the face of that franchise.
Years.
He was the face. I mean, when you thought Colts, you thought Peyton Manning. Thought Peyton Manning before you thought the Colts.
So, just over the course of years, he got the honor to build a whole new stadium, and you can't deny over all the success that he had over there. We got some familiarity between Peyton and the Steelers defense, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm sure this guy is as ready as ever just to prove to the world all the question marks that they have for him. And this team is as ready too. Pittsburgh, I'm talking, just to prove that we ain't going nowhere either. So Sunday night is going to be a night. It's going to be a night. I don't know what kind of night, but it's going to be a night.
I'm thinking that this guy played face of the franchise, helped get a dome built, and then at the end of the day, it was determined that they didn't want him back. I mean, the only way you want to break it down, you can say they departed on good terms, whatever. Professional athlete's mind, bottom line, they didn't want him back. This game is huge for him because people are out there, hey, he's coming off these neck surgeries. He hasn't played for a year. This guy, despite the accomplishments that he's had, he's got some stuff to prove in this game. Not just this game, this season, but this is the first game. You know, coming at it from a pro athlete's perspective, you understand where he's coming from as far as having something to prove.
Man, when Peyton Manning get cut from the Indiana Colts, ain't nobody safe in the league. I'm going to say it again. If Peyton Manning can get cut from the Indianapolis Colts, ain't nobody job safe in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, all you gotta do is look at his resume and look what he's done. But then again, that's all a part of being a professional. You can't play this game forever. And when you figure that out and you figure, well, I'm going to make the coach's decision, the front office decision hard to let me go, you'll play for a long time. But again, when you just say, hey, man, I know I got the tools and I got the talent, but I ain't going to put in the work, well, you might be a 5-6 year guy. But Peyton going on 14. And I'm sure, he telling his boys over there in Denver, hey, man, we can repeat. Last time they came to Denver, it wasn't good for them. We can go out and do the same thing. But on the flip side of that, we saying the same thing. I know for sure I'm saying the same thing. Like last time wasn't a good time. Yeah, we done had some wins in Denver, some real good crucial wins in Denver. But people only remember the last time. So, last time out, it wasn't good. So, we're going to have an opportunity the first game, Sunday night, to see what's happening.